My name's Philip Moore. I'm a retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel. I spent 28 years on active duty, most of that working with the Air Force's missile systems. In 1961 through 1965, I was assigned to an Atlas F ICBM squadron, the 579th Strategic Missile Squadron, Walker Air Force Base in Roswell, New Mexico. The event that I'm going to discuss happened approximately October, November 1964. My crew was on alert at Missile Complex 7. Missile Complex 7 was located southeast of Roswell, and it was part of a cluster of 3 called a sector. We had Complex 6, 7, and 8 in that sector. It was around midnight, probably a little later, that Major Gilbert, my crew commander, and I were manning the launch console, and we got a call on the hotline. We had a hotline phone between all the missile sites. We got a call from the Site 6 crew commander saying that there's something hovering above his site, and he asked us to go topside. We're in a launch control center underground, to go topside and see what we could see. So Major Gilbert sent our 3 enlisted men, Airman First Class Garner, Airman First Class Rundag, and Tech Sergeant Nevins to what we call the CAP, which was the top side of the launch control center. If you looked to the southeast, you could see where Site 6 was located. We actually couldn't see Site 6, but it was located in that area. And to the southwest was Site 8. They reported to us that they saw a light above Site 6 that rapidly accelerated and stopped instantly above the area where Site 8 was located and went back and forth. It was instant go, instant stop. So they watched it for a while, and Major Gilbert asked Sergeant Nevins to come down and man the console with me so he could go up. The nuclear safety rules required 2 certified people to be manning that console at all times. So Major Gilbert went up, and he reported to us that he saw the same thing. Instant stop, instant go of this object. By the time my turn came, the show was over. It stopped with Major Gilbert. He said the light just disappeared. He came back down, so did our other 2 enlisted men, and we discussed it.
Do you recall, after all these years, was the term UFO used, or did the other launch commander, just say there's a large unknown object above the site, or how did you describe that on the hotline?
Yeah, he talked about an object rather than a UFO. My crew members talked about a UFO because no vehicle that any of us knew about could do the things that that thing did. Nothing moves that quickly and stops that precisely so quickly without it being something else.
Was there any debriefing that you were aware of? Was your crew talked to? Was the other crew talked to by the commanders?
There was no debriefing. In fact, when you have an unusual situation of any kind at a missile launch site, you call the command post and report it. Frankly, we got a ho-hum attitude from the command post. I don't know what to make of that, except they already knew about it, or they thought we were pulling some sort of prank. And you know, I knew my crew members. I'd been with that crew for a couple of years. We were well vetted. I mean, we had background checks for our security clearance that were extreme. Our security clearance was top secret, but the 3 people who were allowed to man the console also had a crypto clearance, which meant you went a little further than just a top secret background check. My crew members were pleasant people. They wouldn't joke about something like this. This wasn't an elaborate joke for Phil Moore to be the victim of. No, they were dead serious.
And as far as you know, the commander who called your capsule, he was not debriefed, his crew was not debriefed?
As far as I know. In fact, we never discussed this with the people in the upper echelons of our unit. It was discussed among crews at the officers' club, among certain individuals. Some people were naysayers, but most of us were open-minded about it and were curious, wanted to know, what had happened and whatever. Other things happened at that squadron, and I don't know the details, but I don't remember the details, but that was not the only incident that happened in that time frame.
And you just heard about these other incidents, word of mouth?
Word of mouth, yes.
Okay. Again, it's been many years, but how would you characterize the discussions at the officers' club? What was the attitude or consensus of people that you were talking to?
Some people just thought it was, BS. And other people were very curious and wanted to know more. Most people wanted to know more. And, but like I say, I don't recall us ever discussing it with any of our upper commanders. Not the sector commander, not the squadron commander.
And as far as you know, there was no damage to any of the missiles? No one said the missiles went dropped offline or off alert status at the time?
No, none of that was reported. When you have a situation like that, that gets reported to the command post, and it gets reported on a hotline that we all can hear. Not the primary alerting system, but another hotline. And there was no missile down on it. Certainly our missile didn't go down. In fact, the object never came above our missile site.
Why are you doing this interview?
I'm doing this because I think the truth needs to be known. I think people need to know what's going on. I got a lot more faith in people than I believe the government has. I don't think people are going to go crazy and panic when they find out the truth. The truth is, they say the truth will set you free. Basically, I think the truth is necessary. I don't like covered ups. I'd rather hear what the real thing is as opposed to a candy-coated version of it or a covered up version of it.